Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about time. Most option traders are aware that theta erodes your premium, but for new traders, very few may understand how time decay actually behaves. So this breakdown will show you how theta really accelerates, how it affects your open trades, and why the majority of option pricing content is at times incomplete at best and misleading at worst. So hopefully this video will offer deep clarity, so let's dive right into it. Y'all see I have NVIDIA pulled up here on the option chain. So the first thing to mention is that when considering theta, it's important to know that it's not linear and it certainly doesn't treat every contract the same. And I'm going to show y'all plenty of examples of that in this video. So when analyzing theta acceleration, the question behind it is, why does time decay speed up? What most traders are told is that options lose value each day as expiration approaches. And I've even said that before, just very casually, because that's the most basic way to explain it. However, what's actually true is that because theta decay accelerates as it gets closer to expiration, it isn't consistent across all contracts, and there are varying factors that dictate its speed. So we're going to start with looking at the curve of the theta decay, and this is just going to give a conceptual breakdown. So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and start with September 19th, and this is going to be 68 days of DTE, so I'll hit the drop down for it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our theta. So we can see here I have 18 strikes pulled up, and for every single one of them, the theta is in the range of $6 to $10. So this is showing you that the theta is minimal. It's often less than $10 a day on most contracts, and we can see that here. And that's because the premium is driven more by implied volatility and delta movement rather than time decay itself. So when we take a look, we see that the implied volatility for these set of contracts is at 45.07%, with a plus or minus of $25.98. And then comparatively, we can see that the delta is in the range at the lowest of $20 and then the highest of $74. And again, this is with 68 days out of DTE. So keep that in mind. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit the drop down for August 15th, and this is going to be for 33 days of DTE. Now with this still being considered mid-range, theta starts to increase, but price movement still plays a larger role. Now this is often referred to as the sweet spot for swing trades and premium selling, where risk and time decay are fairly balanced at times, so calculated trades can help you make the best of your positioning. And what I mean by that is, let me show y'all a perfect comparison of the two. So I'm going to scroll up just a little bit so y'all can see both sets of data. Okay, so for example purposes, we're going to go ahead and look at the strike price of 160. And with 33 days out of DTE, we can see that the theta is priced at $12 while the delta is at $64. And then taking a look at 68 days of DTE at that same strike price of the 160, we can see that the theta is at $10 while the delta is at $62. So for the most part, they're nearly equivalent with a couple dollars of difference. However, when we look at the asking price for 33 days out of DTE at that 160 strike, the option contract is going for $1,060. But for 68 days out of DTE, we can see that same 160 contract is actually going for $1,530. So that's about a $500 difference in the price that you're paying for the premium up front, even though the delta and the theta are in the same range and close enough to be almost equivalent. So that's why y'all always hear me discuss the strategic ways that you have to go about placing your trades, because selecting the right strike price and the days to expiration are going to be super imperative for your profitability. All right, so I'm going to collapse both of these and we're going to go ahead and take a look at shorter DTE. So let's look at July 18th. I'm going to hit the drop down and we can see that this is 5 days out to expiration. Now, because these contracts are so close to expiring, we can see the theta here as far as the difference. Now, the theta begins to accelerate rapidly, especially for the close out of the money contracts, as you can see here. And I made a previous video discussing the major differences from at the money, in the money, and out the money contracts. So I'll leave a link to that video down below. But to sum it up, in the money contracts need to have a strike price that is below for calls and above for puts, even though that's the complete opposite of how you expect the stock to move. It's just how contracts immediately hold intrinsic value. Now, not to mention with short-term DTE, it's also more highly likely that you'll lose more just by holding overnight, regardless of the price staying the same, than if the DTE was higher. And that's usually attributed to the fact that the theta tends to outweigh the delta and gamma as time gets closer to expiration. Now, speaking of that, when looking at the final days of DTE, I would say anywhere from like 3 to 5 days out, theta becomes extremely accelerated, and the decay can be 30% or more of the total premium in a single day, which is why y'all often hear me say that in the money contracts are so beneficial for new traders because the trade is already in your favor from the moment you enter it. Not saying it can't go left and the trade can go against you, but to place yourself in a winning position from the start is always best practice. Now, because of that, out the money contracts, the value collapses rapidly unless there's a significant move that happens quickly, meaning there's nothing wrong with trading out the money if the trade is set up to move in your desired direction with speed on your side. So for example, let's say you have an out the money contract with 3 days of DTE. The value of the contract can drop by 1/3 literally in one session without the stock even moving, just due to time and volatility compression. Meaning even if the stock is staying relatively in a range, theta can still move rapidly, regardless of the stock moving, let's say 5 to 10 cents at a time. Even with minimal to no movement on the actual share price, you can lose the full price of the premium just by waiting. But the rate of decay isn't even. It speeds up even more aggressively in the final days, and even in the final hours. Now, let's say on the other hand, you're looking at trading in the money contracts. With fast movement, theta may not hurt your contract as quickly because the delta can play a more significant role, but time in the move really matters. So that's why if the price moves late, theta can still force a contract to expire worthless. So I hope this is all making sense. Now, speaking of that, I actually want to show y'all Netflix. Let me show y'all an example of, I'm going to collapse this, and I'm going to show y'all for 40 days of DTE. Now, with certain stocks, you will see that there is going to be an anomaly. Now, this isn't often mentioned, but I definitely wanted to cover it in this video. Y'all can see here when we take a look at the delta, the gamma, and the theta, let's specifically take a look at the in the money and out the money contracts for this set, just to have that comparative viewpoint. At the strike price of $12.40, we can see that the theta is at a negative $91, and we can see that the delta is at $55. And then with an out the money strike, we can see that the theta is also the same at the negative 91, and then we see the delta is at $54. Now, this is the reason why I always say it's so super important to pay attention to understanding the delta and the theta. We can see here that for every single one of these contracts, the delta is only in the range of $40 to $60. However, comparatively, for every single one of these contracts, the theta is in the range from $80 to $90. So even with trading with midterm DTE at 40 days to expiration, these contracts are still not the most favorable simply because the delta is not higher than the theta in this situation. So that's my whole point in showing y'all that there are some outliers and there are anomalies. Not every single set of contracts is going to be dependent on one factor. There's so many different things to consider. So always make sure you outweigh the pros and the cons before you even enter and look at a trade. So I think this paints a pretty clear picture. So I hope that makes sense. So let me go back to NVIDIA and pull that back up. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and clear up a few misconceptions around theta because some of the information may be a bit misleading to new traders. Most often you hear that theta is the amount you lose per day, which is true, but that's only true at the exact moment. And even then, it's just an estimate, not a guaranteed number of decay. So here's what you may not be aware of. If things are oversimplified, you may ignore implied volatility's heavy impact on theta. So high implied volatility inflates premiums and can distort the decay curve. So basically what that means is the more reactive a stock is to price changes, the quicker it can become erratic to time erosion. Another misconception is to avoid treating the theta as a fixed price per day because it's not. Theta is a moving target. If price moves, implied volatility shifts, or gamma spikes, theta changes within the trade and it can jump so fast. Now, with that in mind, it's also often not explained the difference between position theta versus individual option theta. So what that means is a spread trade, for example, has net theta. Individual option theta measures time decay on a single contract, while position theta reflects the net time decay across all contracts in your trade, factoring both long and short positions. So for instance, if you're in a spread position, theta tells you how much your entire setup gains or loses per day from time decay. You might be long on one side and short on another, so your total position decay could be neutral, positive, or negative. It just depends. And that's so important to know because rarely do I hear this mentioned to new day traders. So if you're a beginner and you trade spreads, just know that theta has more than one element to consider on these types of trade setups. Okay, so the last thing I want to discuss in this video are the strategies on how to play theta in your favor. Now, within saying that, remember, theta is nonlinear and contract dependent, and time decay hurts most when price sits still near expiration. And the decay curve is steepest in the final 7 days of the contract. So keep in mind that one technique is that you can use theta in your favor by selling premiums, and this can be a successful strategy, especially if you're trading credit spreads, or let's say, for example, like covered calls. If you choose to do that on any of these types of spreads, it could play to your benefit. Now, one tip for buying options is to avoid holding out the money contracts into expiration without momentum, because that's a dangerous game to play. You run a risk of losing the total cost when you do that. Also, time your entries before theta accelerates. I recommend ideally 25 to 30 days of DTE so that the acceleration doesn't completely deplete the contract. So only go short dated if you're scalping with tight risk and high probability in a move. Now, one tip for selling options is to target 30 to 45 days of DTE for optimal risk to reward. You also want to watch for high IV setups and sell when theta and vega are both working for you in your favor. Because again, y'all know vega deals with implied volatility, so with those two combined and aligned properly, you can secure the best contracts when selling. And then lastly, let time and structure do the work. That's super important, because if you know what you're doing, the delta and gamma will work in your favor by default. Granted, you're choosing the right contracts that play to your profitability, of course. So I hope that all makes sense. Alright, y'all, so all in all, theta isn't the enemy. I know it's the one Greek that will deter some people from trading options altogether, but it's just part of the game. So the main takeaway is that theta doesn't hit all at once or stay fixed, it builds over time. And if you don't understand when it accelerates, you'll mistake time for risk. So learn the curve and you'll learn how to trade smarter, because theta is a constant because time doesn't stop. So yeah, y'all, that's all I wanted to cover for this. So I hope y'all found some value out of this content. So that'll pretty much do it for this video. If you found any of this information to be helpful, feel free to leave me a comment down below. As always, I thank y'all so much for watching, and of course, I'll see y'all in my next one.